Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to cover what the Corporate Transparency Act means to your LLC operating agreement. You know, this federal law is going to go into effect at the end of this year, and you should be planning now to update your LLC operating agreement to make sure you're in compliance. Now, if you want to learn more about how to properly structure your limited liability companies, your real estate investments, and protect your assets, you can register for our free tax and asset protection live event at the link below. But right now, let's dive into the rules that you need to know about right now in updating your LLC to be compliant with the Corporate Transparency Act. All right, so if you're not aware of the Corporate Transparency Act, what rock have you been under? Listen, this is a new federal law that has gone into effect that requires all business entities, what we call reporting companies, to report not only to on the business entity itself, but also on the beneficial owners. You check out some of my other videos on the Corporate Transparency Act on my site where I've been covering this, talking about how the rules apply. You got to know about this stuff because there are serious penalties if you're not going to be compliant. But everyone that I've followed thus far has been talking about what the Corporate Transparency Act does and what it means to you, as have I. But what I'm not been hearing, which I think you need to know about, is what does it mean to your LLC operating agreement? Because with the Corporate Transparency Act, all members that hold greater than 25% ownership interest in that company, or people who exercise substantial control, those are considered to be beneficial owners. And the company needs to report on the beneficial owners of that limited liability company and supply that to FinCEN. Now here's the problem. You've got an LLC, you have a couple members in there that are either controlling it or they hold at least 25%, and they're not complying with you in providing the information that's necessary. Because you got to give the federal government, you got to give them your name, you got to give them your address, you got to give them a copy of your driver's license or your passport. So you got to provide them some personal information. If you've got some partner in your LLC that decides, now I'm just not going to do that, I don't believe in this. Well, here's what happens. That rolls up onto you, onto your company, and there are civil fines that come from not complying with that law. So what I'm doing right now for our clientele, we've already drafted into our operating agreements, and I highly encourage you to do the same, is you need to put a provision inside of your limited liability company that requires every member of that LLC that either, has control, let's say they're a manager, or any member that owns greater or 25% or more of that limited liability company, either directly or indirectly, must comply with the Corporate Transparency Act and a request for this information to be recorded as a beneficial owner. If they don't, then they risk expulsion, and they must agree to indemnify the company and you if you're the person that is submitting this information to FinCEN. Now, I also have different provisions that I would suggest you consider putting into your operating agreement. Let's say you're going to go out and borrow money from a third party. And if that lender has any ability to control converting that debt to equity, or they can exercise any control over your business as far as how the business is run, then you have to make sure, again, there's a provision in that agreement to ensure that that lender will comply with your reporting requirements under the Corporate Transparency Act. These are really important things that if you got a company right now, it's best that you get the operating agreement amended. If you want more assistance with that, you can contact Anderson. If you want to learn more, I invite you to join us at our tax and asset protection workshop, where we're going to talk about how to set up your business entity the right way, how to use it in real estate investing, how to utilize land trusts throughout different types of strategies, corporations, all of that plus much, much more, especially when it comes to tax planning for real estate investors. And most importantly, you're going to have the ability to bring your questions to that event. I'm going to have attorneys and strategists that'll be on that event that will answer those questions live for you. So we make this specific to you and your individualized situation.